Hello there, everybody. Charles Hammaker here with you with another game reaction. I know we missed the three home games, the first homestand of the season for the Seattle Kraken. Maybe it was a good thing. Two losses of the three games there, including a really, really ugly loss to the New York Rangers. But the first of a four-game road trip as Seattle spends seven of their first 10 games on the road. Seattle able to come out with a 5-4 win in overtime against the Detroit Red Wings. Red Wings, Detroit team that had won five of their first six games of the season, generated a lot of shot quality throughout their first few games. It looked really solid. I mean, Dylan Larkin and I believe it was Gostisbehere. The point being, Detroit had two of the top 3-point scorers in all of the NHL coming into this game, and they made their presence felt as well. But Seattle ultimately puts together a good second period, a good third period to tie things up, and then Jordan Eberle gets the game winner in overtime. He gets one of our two player of the game nods, a goal and an assist for Ebbs there, including obviously the game winning goal in overtime. As you know, it was the final. I believe it was under 30 seconds. On one end of the ice, Lucas Raymond hits the post, hits the near post as Joey Decord was in net for Seattle. We'll get to him in a second. Seattle's able to come right back on the other end of the ice. Vince Dunn, Jared McCann, Jordan Eberle. Vince Dunn gets taken down in the corner. He keeps his guy on down there with him so that it's just 2-on-2. And then Jared McCann is able to find Jordan Eberle out with space around him to make the easy shot to beat Ville Husso and give Seattle the full 2 points and not just the 1 point that they would get from overtime there. So nice to get that second win. Seattle really, I mean, Detroit fans were upset in this game, and there was maybe a call, yeah, maybe one call that they didn't get. Otherwise, it was a really physical, frustrating game for Seattle. They gave up, I believe it was six penalties. We'll get to that in a second, but able to deal with that, get the overtime win. Eberle gets one of the two. The second one being Jaden Schwartz. Schwartz. Affectionately nicknamed Sweatsuit Dad, Schwartzy, Cha Cha, in the Kraken locker room for some reason. Two goals in this one. Was on hat trick watch for most of the game. Scored the first goal of the game for Seattle. Got another power play goal in this one. So nice to see that one. It's his third power play goal of the year, followed by an even strength score off the rush later in that same period. So nice to see that. It was pretty wild second period because Seattle and Detroit were tied in that second period, and then in the last few minutes, the Kraken are able to add two goals onto that. So that's nice. Um, it was good to see that. Good to see that pushback. Good to see the Kraken uh, build off of that Carolina game just a few efforts ago. They've got four goal scorers in this one tonight. Obviously, we talked about Schwartz, we talked about Eberle. Jared McCann had the game tying goal in the dying moments of the third period after all of the momentum seemed to be going in favor of the Red Wings. And then Ty Cartier got a goal as well. He was able to tack on there. So nice for him to get that. Got a breakaway. Brian Dumoulin sent it right up the ice. Cartier got in behind. Was able to beat Husso. Really nice effort there. So Joey Decord had a tough game. I would pin maybe one of the goals on him truly. Dylan Larkin on the power play was wide open. Just kind of beat him. Uh, it was tough because Joey was trying to get from one of his pipes to the other, was too slow on that. His glove hand wasn't fully prepared, and it was just beat cleanly. Just beat cleanly. Um, excuse me. If you look at the other goals in this one, excuse me, Detroit got three power play goals in that. And we'll get to special teams in a minute, but so many of those other goals, he was just kind of left out to dry. The first one of the game that Detroit got was on a tip in with traffic out in front, and he couldn't hardly see anything. So I don't put much of that. I don't put much stock into that. So not the best win of the season for him. Obviously, had the other one not the best effort for Joey, but still, again, I wouldn't take too much stock in that, and I would only really blame him for the one. Looking at the special teams here, 2 for 5 on the power play is not bad. It's better than where Seattle was at the beginning of the year. Getting the 2 power play goals was nice. Jaden Schwartz getting another one. Um, excuse me. Uh, you'd like for them to be able to convert more, I'm sure, but 2 out of 5 could have been worse. The penalty kill is one that came up a little bit, and it was like, what happened to the kill? 6 penalties. It was very physical and as I mentioned, tough game. Devin Shore went to the box on a double minor for high sticking. He was trying to get around a Detroit skater and just kind of whacked him in the face, not on purpose. He was trying to get around him. Detroit fans, I'm sure, will say otherwise. And Detroit is able to score 21 seconds into that one. They get the rest of that power play because it was a double minor, so they get the second part of it. They don't do anything with it. But those power plays really help the Red Wings get back into this game. If you're able to clean that up, you get away with this game much smoother, much cleaner. You don't have to worry about going into overtime. So you know, could be worse. It's the second time this season that Seattle has scored 2 power play goals. The other one coming in that 7-4 win over the Carolina Hurricanes. Just looking at the general stats of this one, nothing stands out too much. Nice to see the faceoff wins in that one. There, the shots as well. And with those shots, it wasn't just Seattle setting stuff on net. There was shot quality here. If you look across the different periods, they won every period. And the 5-on-5 play generating better shot volume, better shot quality. So the quality is the big thing, right? If you're just sending shots on that don't mean anything and aren't dangerous per se, it's kind of meh. But the shot quality was the dangerous thing. We saw with the injury to Andre Burakovsky, Dave Haxall switched up the lines. Ty Cartier comes up and joins Jordan Eberle and Matty Beniers. Jared McCann moves down with Yanni Gord, kind of all over the place. All four of those lines were able to create some nice shot generation, good shot quality, which was big. Let's see here if we can find anything else. Yeah, to go back. No, we're not gonna go back to that. But yeah, so they were winning their battles. The shot quality was there. And again, outside of the power play goals, Seattle was able to dampen a Detroit team that had been generating a lot of shot quality. So it was really good to see that effort there and a team with much more life, much more energy. On the game winning goal from Jordan Eberle, excuse me, it was Matty Beniers. Wait, no, on the game tying goal from Jared McCann. I apologize. Matty Beniers wins a board battle and is able to get the puck out to Jared McCann, who was left wide open because of the battles up in the corner where Beniers was. So big effort there. And Matty's had a tough go of things to begin the season. He really hasn't looked too great per se to begin the year. Just uh, he had his second ever penalty called against him in this one, which is kind of funny. He was kind of getting blasted by Mo Sider, and the officials didn't call it. So, um, hasn't been producing points wise, and his other thing, he's been a solid defensive player in his time in the NHL that we've seen him, and he hasn't looked persist too much like that. Part of that was a frustrating effort in the Rangers game, and that whole game was frustrating. So you could chalk it up to that. But nice to see him win the board battles in there. Um, so no, it was really solid to see. This was a really solid win to get those 37 of the 38 shots that Seattle got were on goal. Seattle had the better shot quality. They had the puck in the ozone, higher percentage wise than the Red Wings in terms of 5-on-5. So you look at a lot of this better entry denial, better zone exit, better puck battle wins by twice as much than Detroit. So a lot of quality here from Seattle, which is good to see. So you look at the last two of the three. Again, I've talked about it in our articles, and I've talked about it a little bit throughout the course of this. Um, that Rangers loss, ugly, really ugly. There was the whole light issue. Justin Schultz does score the first goal of the game, so Seattle gets on the board first, but the Rangers just kind of bullied Seattle from there on out, whether it was physically, whether it was shots, they just had their way. New York is a good team, but that Seattle side, there was no energy, there was no pushback, there was no fight back, except for weirdly after uh, uh, um, Jared McCann uh, dropped the gloves with Vincent Trocheck for a hit on Brian Dumoulin, but a little bit much after that hit had happened. So that was just a really weird game. So it's encouraging to see this effort where Seattle goes into Detroit to begin a 4-game road trip, which isn't going to be easy because you go to Carolina next and then you play Florida and Tampa Bay, which again not going to be easy. Tampa Bay just beat Carolina, but you go into a Detroit team that started the season off hot so far, generating good shot quality, look like a solid team, and you statistically dominate them and you come out with the win. So that's what you want. You know, you don't want to be on the other end of it where you should have won this game and it's a should have, not did. So nice to see that one. Again, they'll continue that road trip. It's not going to be easy. They're going to go on the road next in a few days to Carolina, battle the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes team that has lost 3 straight, starting with that loss to Seattle. They lost tonight. They had the whole NHL frozen frenzy thing where everybody in the league played today with staggered times. The Hurricanes team has a lot of talent on that roster. Andrei Svechnikov, sorry, just came back the other day, I think. So, I mean, they've got a lot of talent. And part of that big win that Seattle got over them was that Antti Ranta just did not look good to go in that game from the start. So it's not going to be an easy one for them. But if Seattle continues to show this energy, continues to be able to generate that shot quality against a Carolina team that's even still with getting some guys back not fully healthy, they should be able to get a win in this one. I don't like saying that, knock on the woods. But there are positives to take going into this game. So nice to see that. Got to see an effort. Got to see another strong effort, though. Got to make this matter. I talked about after the Carolina game in our article, wanting to build off of this and make sure this is a sticking point so you can move forward with this. Because in a little bit, next month, you get to the point where if you're in a deep hole, it's going to be like very historically hard, or it has been for other teams that have been in that situation to turn things around and get to the playoffs. So, um, I should get you pucked up. I'm sorry. That game will be on Root Sports if you're in the state of Washington. If you're national, ESPN Plus is where you're going. 4 p.m. Pacific time, puck drop for that one in Carolina against the Hurricanes. So I'm Charles Hammaker. We're trying to get this better here to where, we've got it more laid out. We've got our different slides and such. To get the full story of the game out and just concise on this end so you can see things. So if you've got suggestions, feel free to let me know. We're working on that and just glad to be doing this, especially obviously when the team wins. It makes it all better. So until I see you next time, take care of yourselves, be well, do whatever you can to make today a great day.